Yeah, we also have like, before you go, if you want, I can give you some of our business cards, which have like a link to a free class on them too. Yeah. Let's hear it.
It's 18 men and 2 women.
Really?
Yeah, it's such a weird gender dynamic in there. Like, the men, they all stay in their offices all day long. Nobody moves. Always leave for an hour, trying to like walk, get away from my space. So healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. All right, let's start. I think it's time. Oh no, we have a few more minutes. All right. Well, wait, I think there's some people who are going to join. I'm just going to pause this. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Strength and Flex. We're going to start standing. And feet are just going to be under the hips. We're reaching up and down. And you're just going to keep your ribs tucked under for now, instead of letting them come out when you reach up. Feel your heels and your big toe pressing into the floor. Nice. Bring them back down to the side. We're just going to put our hands actually on the top of our head, shrugging the shoulders and dropping them. Shrug and drop. And drop. Keeping them dropped, keeping those ribs tucked. We're going to keep the lower body quiet as we turn to face the left. And then turn all the way to the right. So all the movements coming from the spine, the upper mid back. Hips stay facing forward. Feet rooting into the ground. Back to center, dropping the hands. Nice. We're just going to do a little bit of a squat here, just a baby one. Heels pressing into the floor as you come up. We're going to add the arms reaching out as you come down and back behind you. Out and back. Nice. Trying to keep those ribs in as you reach up. And you don't need to go too deep into your squat, just whatever is good right now in your body. Last one. And up. Nice. Relaxing the arms, keeping the lower body still. We're just going to rotate, swing the arms out, back and forth. You can start to let the hips open a little bit as you twist. I feel like my mic is rubbing up against my shirt. Sorry, guys. I'll figure that one out. The knees can be soft here too. They don't need to be locked. In fact, why don't we add a little bit of a bounce? So as the arms come down, the knees bend, and then come back up. Staying with the breath. 4, 2, 1. Nice. Back down. Shake it out. Hands can come to the hip. We are going to actually, let's stand on the front top of our mat. Okay. 1 sec. Turn this down a tiny bit. All right, standing at the front of our mat, you're gonna shift your weight into your left leg, soft bend in the knee, feeling the heel press into the floor. We're gonna step the right leg back, not too wide. We're gonna come down into a little bit of a split squat here, and then standing back up. Down and back up. So our hips are facing forward. Try your best to keep your knee from going too far over your toe. You want to really almost squat into that right angle in the knee. And if you find you have to step your back foot back a little bit to make that happen, then you can do that. Yes. Nice. All right, bringing the feet back together, switching the weight into the right leg, foot, big toe, heel, push into the floor, little bend in the knee, step back halfway down the mat, I'd say, and then bend and come up. Let's keep those ribs tucked in, almost like you're trying to fill out the back ribs. Four, three, two, and last one. Nice, both feet back together. Shifting the weight again into the left foot. We're going to step this leg a little bit further back this time into like a bigger lunge, and then bring it forward again. And that's all we're doing. Ooh, back into our lunge. Step. Step. If you want to keep your hands here, that's great. If you want to add a little bit more, as we step back, the hands can come out and then push back behind us again. Out. Oh, lost my mic. Wow, this mic is giving me a hard time today. And back up to standing. Take a breath here. We're going to do the same thing. Let's just start shifting the weight into the right foot, back into that lunge, and then back to the top. You can keep the hands on the hips or in front of you for now. Only go as far back as you can without losing the integrity, losing the move, losing your core. And then if you want to add the arms here, feel free. We're reaching up and then pushing back. Up. Do two more of these. One. Nice. Coming back to center. Let's actually come. Oh no, you're sorry guys. Stay standing. We're gonna tuck the chin, feet under the hips, tucking the chin. We're just gonna do a gentle roll down here. Starting from the top, you can keep the knees soft. And then roll back up one vertebra at a time. I'm going to do one more, tucking the chin, rolling down. And then rolling back up. Nice. Now we're going to come to the floor. go right into our bridge. So we're gonna roll back onto our back. Find a neutral spine here. So you want a little bit of space underneath your lower back, feeling your back ribs, just gently pressing into the floor. You're going to push your heels into the floor and lift the hips up. And then roll back down. You can roll back down one vertebrae at a time if that feels good. Pushing into the floor to come up and down. Nice. We're just going to keep pushing, repeating that. Up. Nice and slow. Nice. Come all the way back down to the floor. Make sure you have that space under the low back. We're going to bring our hands together. I like to interlace my fingers. We're just keeping the lower body quiet. We're just going to reach over to the left. And your right shoulder is really lifting off the floor and pushing you towards the left. Making sure you're rooting down in that right hip, right glute. So you're not lifting your hips at all. And then coming back to center and then reaching over to the right. Same thing, keeping that left hip secured, glued to the floor. Pushing that left shoulder up this time. And coming back to center. We're gonna do one more. This time, take an inhale in the center. Exhale, push over to the left, pushing the right shoulder up, but keeping the right glute glued to the floor. Back to center and the other side. Nice, coming back to center. Now let your hands come to the floor. This time we're gonna let our knees fall over to the left. So keeping the ribs, the back ribs, the right shoulder glued to the floor. And then back to center towards the other side. And move towards the other side now. We're reaching over to the left with the knees, feeling those ribs and the right shoulder still glued to the floor. From here, I want you to think about pushing your lower right ribs into the floor, and that's what's pulling your legs back up. Yes, nice. All the way over to the other side. And then we're gonna do the same thing, pushing the lower left ribs into the floor, pulling us back up to center, staying center. Nice. From here, we're gonna come into a bridge again. So finding that neutral space under the lower back, pushing our heels and our big toe into the floor to lift the hips, shifting the weight into the left foot, lifting the right leg up into this tabletop position, and slowly letting it come back down, slowly switching the weight into the right. Don't let your hips drop. Lift that left leg up to tabletop. Nice, slowly let it come back down. One more on each side, shifting the weight into the left, lifting the right. And slowly letting that come back down, switching the weight into the right and the left. Nice. Slowly dropping both feet come together and then rolling one vertebrae down at a time. Nice. From here, keeping that neutral spine, you're gonna start to pull your belly button towards the back of your spine, if that makes sense. You want to start squeezing, engaging in that lower core. From here, lifting the right leg into that tabletop. And then we're going to lift the left leg at the same time we lower the right. Just tapping the floor and then coming back. Nice. Keeping that belly button pulled in. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, keeping that belly button pulled in. 2, Last one. Let's bring both legs to tabletop and then lower them both at the same time, nice and slow, keeping that core solid. Perfect. Relax for a second. Let's bring the hands behind the head. And from here, keeping that space behind the lower back, you're gonna lift your elbows just so they're in the peripheral of your vision, tucking the chin a little bit. And then you're gonna press the lower back ribs into the floor. That's gonna lift you into this nice little curl, holding here for a moment. And then coming back down, relaxing the elbows. Let's do that again, lifting the elbows, tucking the chin, pushing the ribs into the floor to come up. And then coming back down. Repeat that. Do it one more. Let's do it 2 more times. Coming all the way back down. We are going to come up one more time. So elbows in the peripherals, tucking the chin, ribs push into the floor, holding it here. From here, we're just going to go side to side. Five, 4, 3, 2, last one. Back to center, coming back down. Nice. Taking a little breather here. I'm gonna lift the elbows, tuck the chin, push the ribs into the floor, coming up here. This time, pulling that belly button in towards the floor, okay? Keeping that space in the lower back. We're gonna lift both legs into that tabletop. You're just gonna do gentle little like scissor motion here. Keeping that core. You do have the option of just doing the scissor and letting your head rest on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tabletop legs, drop the legs, relax the upper body. Nice. We're gonna inhale here. On the exhale, lifting into that little curl again, lower back relaxes, pulling the belly button in, lifting those legs to tabletop. This time, when we bring the right leg in, the left elbow reaches towards that leg. And then we switch. And then we switch. So it's like a little bit of rotation in that upper back. The elbows and the knees do not need to touch. Five, 4, 3, 2, last one. Tabletop legs, legs come down, upper body relaxes. We love it. We love it. All right, this time we're going to lift our right leg into that tabletop position. And then we're gonna let the foot dangle. So we're just relaxing that, the shin, the foot, okay? Gonna take that same hand, lightly grab the knee, and we're just gonna do a little bit of a rotation here. Just mobilizing that hip joint a little bit. Feel that left glute really glue to the floor. The shoulders are glued to the floor, and you're not death gripping your knee, okay? And you can try switching directions. Dropping that foot, and I'll lift the other leg, tabletop, relax that bottom half of the leg, same arm grabs. gluing that right buttocks, that right glute to the floor. The shoulders stay on the floor. Just mobilizing this other hip joint now. And switching directions. Okay. From here, we're actually going to sit up. So I like tucking my knees in and kind of doing a little roll up. And then from here, we're going to take our hands. We're just going to grab underneath the knees, just on the hamstring, back of the thigh area. And then we're going to roll over our sit bones. So you're like tucking your tailbone, rolling over those sit bones, tucking your chin, starting to extend your arms back, feeling that belly button pull towards your spine until you've got straight arms. If you would like to, you can let go of your legs. Grabbing the legs again and gently coming back up to roll back over the sit bones. Sitting nice and tall. And we're going to do that again. Rolling back over the sit bones, gently tucking the tailbone, pushing the spine back, pulling that belly button towards the spine, extending the arms. If you want to take the hands off, you can. Palms facing the floor. This is optional. We're just going to pulse the arms. Keeping that belly button pulled in, the ribs are tucked. You're really trying to puff out the upper back. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grabbing the legs again, slowly pulling yourself back up over the sit bones. Nice. Okay, from here, we're going to extend the legs out, and you're not doing like a huge wide straddle. You can keep it basically 90 degrees, okay? Nice. From here, you're gonna open up your arms. They're coming out to the side. You're going to twist towards the left and just see if you can tap the foot or reach towards the foot, twist towards the right and tap. Nice. Twist, curl to tap. Twist, curl to tap. Nice. And we're gonna go 4, 3, 2, last one. Nice. Arms can come down. Legs can come in. We're going to come down onto our side. This is like your second round of doing these. You can just take a little nap there if you want. So we're pushing up in our elbow here. So make sure you're not sunk in the shoulder. You're pushing up nice and tall. Your hips are stacked. Ankles and hips in a nice line. From here, pushing your elbow, pushing the knee into the floor to lift the hip up. Nice side plank, I don't know, side bridge. Opening up, lifting the arm up. And from here, reaching over, creating a nice arch in the body, side stretch. Staying tall through that shoulder. Bringing the arm back down, we can come back. Nice. We're gonna do that again, making sure we're pushing up through that shoulder. We're not sinking down. Knee pushes into the floor, lifting the hips, reaching that arm up. And then reaching over. And coming back down. Nice. Just need to see the time. I'm so used to wearing a watch. All right, this time let's come all the way onto the floor. I wore the worst shirt to wear a microphone, seriously. From here, let's make sure we're lifted a bit in our side body so we're not totally sinking into the floor, okay? We're nice and lifted here, gluing our ankles together. We're just gonna open up into this clamshell and close, trying to keep the movement coming from the hip. So I'm not rolling back. If you wanna put an actual hand on the hip to make sure you're not opening back like this and you're staying stacked, that's fine. Keeping that midsection lifted out of the floor. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to straighten the top leg, keeping the bottom leg bent, flexing the foot. You're going to bring the knee in and then kick out with the heel. Bring the knee in, kick back. When you kick back, you're not kicking too far back, just a little bit behind you. Knee comes up, heel kicks out. Knee comes up, heel kicks back. Perfect. Keeping that midsection lifted, the ribs tucked. Let's do 1 more out and 1 more back. Nice. Straightening both legs this time. You can have your top hand just kind of on the ground in front of you to support you. And from here, making sure those hips are stacked, we're just lifting the legs straight up. So we're not opening the hip to get lots of height here. It's not necessarily about the height. We're just trying to activate these side glutes. And don't rush back down, don't rush up. Just nice, smooth pacing between each kick here. Two more. Nice. We're going to switch sides. What? You're right. You doing okay back there? This side. Oh, and then just. So first, staying lifted on the elbow, hips are stacked, heels and hips are in a line. From here, we're going to push our knee into the floor, lifting up in the hip, making sure we're nice and tall through the shoulder, lifting the arm up. And then reaching over, creating a nice arch through the side body. And then coming back down. I wish Pilates reformers weren't like $5,000. I want one. Pushing knees into the floor, elbow in, making sure we're not sinking in. Hand comes up, ribs are tucked. And then reaching over. Coming back down. Let's come all the way on to our side, making sure that side body's staying lifted. We're not sinking in. Heels together, just opening this clam without rolling back, keeping the hips stacked. Four, three, two, last one. Nice, keeping that bottom leg bent, straightening the top leg, flexing that foot. We're gonna pull the knee in, kick the heel forward, in and back. Nice. Let's do one more forward and one more back. Straightening both legs, keeping those hips stacked, that midriff lifted off the floor, and just coming up. Everything's awake now, right? Four more, you got this. 4, 3, 2, last one. Yay. All right, we're gonna come up onto our knees. We're actually gonna come up into a high kneel here. We're gonna bring our hands to our head once more, shrugging the shoulders and dropping them. Shrugging, dropping, and dropping. From here, keeping the lower body quiet, we're just gonna do some of these rotations, which I absolutely love. To the center. We're gonna add a breath. So starting from the center, taking an inhale, exhale to the left. Inhale as you come back to center, and then exhale to the right. Inhale as you come back to center, and then exhale to the right. Nice. Hands can come down. We're just going to start to sit the bum down, barely touch the heels, and then we're going to come back up. Start, sit the bum down, barely touch, and then come back up. Okay, we're going to actually drop towards the left, and then up, and then towards the right. Yeah, this one can be tough on the knees. So if you have sensitive knees, you can definitely like put a cushion underneath you. I think so too. One more on each side. From here, hands on the back of the head this time. We're tucking the chin, starting to roll the spine down a little bit, and then unrolling back up. Nice. Tucking the chin, rolling back, and then back up. Tucking the chin, rolling back. Let's do one more. Nice. We're going to come into a tabletop position. I'm moving. I love when you're in the middle of a workout and it's like, are you still working out? Like, yes. See? All right, from here, you're gonna tuck your back toes under. You're just gonna hover the knees over the floor. So your wrists should be stacked under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And you drop down the knees. One more time, just hovering the knees above the floor. And dropping down. And drop down. Eager beaver. This time you're gonna push up, knees come off the floor, right toe is gonna come back and tap and lift. Trying to keep the movement out of your lower back and all in the glutes. If you want to keep your knee on the floor, you absolutely can. If that feels better, you can bring it back, knees to the floor. Okay. So let's just find a neutral spine super quick here before we do the other side. You want to tuck the front ribs in a little bit, and you're going to see that like slightly puffs up the back of your chest. You're going to let there be a little curve in your lower back. So you're not like pushing up like this, but you're not like really dramatic here. It's like a nice gentle tuck and gentle curve in the lower back. From here, pushing our toes into the floor, lifting the knees. This time the left toe goes back, lifts up and tap. Keeping the spine as neutral as possible. 2 more. Bring that toe back, dropping the knees. All right. Staying on the knees and wrists here. I know this is hard on the wrists, so if you need a second to just roll the wrists out, take it. We're going to do a little bit of spinal articulation. So we're going to start at the tailbone. We're going to tuck the tailbone, just the tailbone. And you're going to feel almost like a wave going up your spine. You're moving one vertebrae at a time, pushing through into this cat position, like if you've done yoga, tucking the chin, shoulder blades find some space, and you're really pulling your belly button towards your spine, almost like the belly button wants to like shoot right through the spine up to the ceiling. From here, starting at the tailbone again, untucking the tailbone. So this time, like you're lifting the butt towards the ceiling, starting to move into that cat position, shoulder blades come together, one vertebrae at a time. Gazing just up slightly, breastbone pushes towards the floor. And let's move through that one more time, tucking the tailbone under like you're a dog, tucking your tail, feeling that wave move up your spine, space between the shoulder blades, pushing the hands into the floor, tucking the chin, belly button wants to go through the spine to the ceiling. Then untucking the tailbone. Booty reaches towards the sky. Starting to feel the shoulder blades coming back together. Breastbone pushes towards the floor. Gazing slightly up. Nice. Let's come back to a child's pose for a moment. And just reaching the arms out in front of you. Feel free to widen the space between your legs. Let's reach our arms over towards the left, getting a nice stretch in the right side body. Coming back to center, let's walk our hands over to the right side, getting a nice stretch in the left side body. Coming all the way back to center. You're just going to start walking your hands back towards your knees. Walking them all the way up the legs, tucking the chin. You're going to roll up, up, up into this high kneeling. Nice. Come to a seat. And we're going to end it there. We're ending like a couple minutes early. Didn't plan that class super well. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah. If you're wondering why I was just like staring blankly at you, I was waiting for you to come back.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate you. Hopefully that felt good in your bodies. Thank you, thank you. So glad you joined me. And we'll see you next time.